Hey there, I'm DK Guillotine, and this is what I have been watching recently. These are all animes because it's like the only thing I watch at the moment. I'm in my weeaboo phase right now, so let's jump into it. This is everything I've been watching. I am going to be talking about these in the ranking of how I've enjoyed them for the most part, what I'm watching currently. This is only talking about the things I am watching currently. None of the things I have already finished and watched are going to be on this list because if that was the case, number one would absolutely be Jujutsu Kaisen. But without further ado, let's jump into this. This is what I have been watching lately in February of 2022. First up, now, when I say this, do not crucify me, because the only reason this is the bottom of the list, because like I said, these are ranked in the order of what I've been enjoying them the most. Don't hate me for this one. I'm only ranking this one this low because I've only seen one episode so far, and the episode didn't like blow me away or anything like that. So I'm sure this is going to skyrocket up my list as this year goes on, as I see more of it. But at the moment, the one that I am enjoying the least, I suppose, would have to be Demon Slayer Season 2, because I've only seen one episode of the new arc. The first arc of Demon Slayer Season 2 was just the Mugen Train arc, which I've already seen in the Mugen Train movie, with one extra little episode that also didn't really do anything for me. I'm not a Rengoku fan, so there's that. Do keep that in mind. But we are now moving into the Entertainment District arc. We only have the first episode right now. Of course, I watch dubs. You guys know that. So yeah, we only have the first episode right now. And I mean, it's not bad by any means. I don't think any of the shows I'm about to talk about, none of these are bad. None of these are bad shows. I am enjoying all of these shows. But this is definitely gonna have to be the low tier because, again, I've only seen one episode. And once again, that episode didn't like blow me away. It was a fine episode. It was a good setup. I did enjoy it overall. I've never really not enjoyed an episode of Demon Slayer. It's just a very good show. There's a lot of great characters, and yeah, I do like it a lot, but at the moment, there's just nothing to talk about. I'm sure this is going to absolutely just rocket up this list, maybe even might end up being number one, who knows. All I've ever heard, I've only heard that this season is just amazing, especially of like, people can't shut up about episode 10, people just can't shut up about that one, so I have no doubt this is going to skyrocket up the list, but right now, since I only have one episode, it is going to have to be at the bottom, but once again, I still really enjoy it, and I'm very much excited to continue it. So yeah, a couple notes I will say. I am so far enjoying Tengen. I know Tengen is a huge part of this arc, the Entertainment District arc, and so far I'm enjoying him. I don't really have much of thoughts on him yet because we only have just the one little bit of him at the beginning, at the end of the first episode of the Entertainment District arc. But that's all we got, and so far I enjoy him. He's not bad or anything like that. I like his design. The opening, I will say, is a pretty big step down from Garenge for me. Now, I will say this, I think Garenge is like one of the greatest anime openings ever. I genuinely adore that opening, Garenge by Lisa, the season 1 opening of Demon Slayer. So, by comparison, pretty much anything compared to that is not going to be as good. There's probably, like, you could count on one hand the amount of OPs that I like more than Garenge. But, yeah, I definitely did want to say that the OP is definitely a step down from the season 1 OP. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. So far, only one episode. I'm enjoying it, but that is what I got for you, Demon Slayer Season 2. Next up is going to be a show called Riddle Story of Devil. This is a show that my friend wanted me to watch. She wanted me to watch this show, check the show out, because she thought it would be up my alley. And I have to admit, so far, I am enjoying the show. I'm on episode 6 right now. I'm excited to continue it. This is a show about a classroom of assassins who kind of have to, so they're all assassins. One of them is a target, and the objective is for one of them to kill the target. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's kind of a death game type dealio, but there's another character who's the main character who is trying to protect the target. So that's kind of what they're going for right now. And it's kind of like a Freak of the Week show, where every episode, besides the first 2 episodes, it's been you follow another one of the assassins, another one of the members of the class, trying to kill the target and then getting defeated by the main character. And it has a very standard Freak of the Week formula, where you kind of have like some development for, like, they pick out your assassin, you're pretty fastly introduced to what assassin is going to be your focus in this episode, and basically they go into that, they start giving them some development, they tell you their backstory, why they have to do it, because if they succeed in killing the target, they get a reward of basically anything they want. It's basically like a genie wish, and if they succeed, they get that, obviously, so you get to learn their backstory, you get to learn what they want, why they want it, and then you get the confrontation of them going after that. So it's a very standard kind of freak of the week formula kind of dealio. But so far, I am enjoying the show. It's got some Danganronpa vibes, which you know I'm always a huge, always gonna be into that. It definitely does have some vibes of that though. And there's some fun characters in it. I do particularly like the two main characters. None of the other characters are all that interesting so far. Like I said, I'm only in episode 6. The opening is pretty darn good. I like the opening quite a bit. It's so far a fine show. It's a bit messy, I will say. I will say that. I'm not trying to be a dick if you're watching this, friend who wanted me to watch this show. I am enjoying it overall. Don't get me wrong. But I will say it is a little bit messy. There's some characters in it that are just very, I don't even know what their deal is. Like the main teacher who doesn't know that he's the teacher of a group of assassins and he's just kind of going along with it. That character is just, I don't know. Every time that character shows up, I'm like, oh, this guy is seriously dampering this show for me just a little bit every time he shows up. But it's a little bit sloppy of a show, I will say, but overall, I am enjoying it, and I'm excited to continue it. I'll definitely finish this because my friend wanted me to finish it, and hopefully, if I do finish it, she will watch what I want her to watch, which is Jujutsu Kaisen. So, yeah, but I am really enjoying this show so far. It's fun. Like I said, the opening's good, the two main characters are good, and I kind of like the formula they got going on so far. So, yeah, I'm enjoying Riddle Story of Devil, and that is that. Next up is going to be Nagatoro. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. I started watching this when the dub came out, started coming out on Crunchyroll, and I enjoy this show a good bit. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like, I don't really know, it's very slice of life. You kind of have this one girl who kind of torments this other dude, but it's pretty obvious she kind of likes him, and I feel like throughout the story, by the end of it, they're gonna kind of have more of a relationship going on. Both of the leads are very good. I like them both. The side characters are also a lot of fun. I do like them a lot. Overall, I enjoy this show. I don't have a ton of thoughts on it because it's a very simple show. Basically, the formula of this show is it opens, Nagatoro torments the main character, who I don't know his name because she just calls him Senpai, so I don't even know his name, and that's pretty much it. Back and forth between those two. There's some fan service moments, but it's a fun show, and I have to admit, one of the reasons this show goes up, is up higher than the others is because of its opening. This opening is an all-timer. Nagatoro has one of the freaking best openings I've ever heard. It is so good, but, well, maybe not best of the best, but very good. I love it. I love the opening of this show. So yeah, really, it's a good show. I would highly recommend it. Like I said, it's very slice of life. It's very fun. The characters are fun. I do really like Nagatoro. I think she's a very fun character. She's very animated and crazy, and she's got a very memorable design. I like the nerdy kid as well. He's very good. Once again, I don't know his name because I don't think they ever even told us his name. But, yeah, so far I'm enjoying the show, and I'm excited to continue it. I'm on episode 7, I believe, is what the dub is on right now. So, yeah. Fun show. I enjoy it. I would recommend it if you haven't checked it out. It's a fun show. It's a harmless, fun show. Yeah, and the opening slaps. So, there you have that. Next up, Komi Can't Communicate. This is one that I was actually wanting to watch, but it was only subbed on Netflix. It's a Netflix original anime, and it was only subbed, but the dub started coming out for it. Well, not started. They dropped the whole dub in one day. And, yeah, I'm really enjoying this show, although I have to say, I love the main character, Komi, what's her name, Shoko Komi, I think is her name. I love that character. She is by far the standout of this show, by the fact it's called Komi Can't Communicate. She is an amazing character. I absolutely love that character. She has an amazing design. She is such a fun character. Basically, the show is about Komi, who has social phobia and has a very difficult time talking with people. It's about her and this other kid in her class named Tadano, who try and get her a bunch of friends and try and basically help her, become more social instead of, get over her social phobia, basically. It's a very heartwarming and fun show, and Komi is an amazing character, but I have to be honest, Komi is the only amazing character. I don't like a single one of the other characters in this show. Tadano is fine. I would give Tadano a pass. He's okay, but all of the other characters I do not like in the slightest. I'm genuinely being serious right now. There's, I think, 4 side characters, and not one of them is even remotely likable in my opinion. I don't like any of them. Komi is the only genuinely good character in this show, but she is the main character. She is the character you follow most of the time, so that's not a huge deal because all the other characters are just there to help to raise up Komi, and I guess just maybe they're all supposed to be unlikable, and I'm supposed to hate them all like I do to make Komi even more likable, so there's that. I would say Komi is a actually amazing character, and she definitely carries this show. Also, the opening is incredible. I adore this opening. This actually would make my top 10 favorite openings, dude. It is absolutely phenomenal. The colors and everything in the opening, the way it goes, the song is amazing. I love this show so far, but it's pretty much all because of Komi. And I do kind of like the whole narration aspect of it as well. You have basically this, basically Komi doesn't talk, Komi doesn't talk almost at all. She has very few actual talking moments in the show. So every time she's on screen, in order to give her more life and whatnot, there's like a narrator who kind of narrates what she's feeling at the time. And she only ever narrates what she's feeling. There's never any point where the narrator gives like her own opinion. Like basically like Komi will be like this and she'll be like, Komi's frustrated, and that will be like she doesn't ever like chime in like I think Komi's frustrated or anything like that. It's basically just a narration of what she's thinking. So it's a fun show. I would absolutely recommend this one on the sheer fact that I think Komi is honestly an amazing character, and I really like that character. But do keep in mind, all of the other characters in this show are pretty fucking hateable. I will say that. And there's one episode of this show that I have to be honest, I was not a fan of. It's the one where, I'm going to spoil a little bit here. It's not a huge spoiler or anything, but there's an episode, like a yandere episode, where Tadano gets kidnapped by one of the other characters, and she's like a full-on yandere who's like obsessed with Komi. And I honestly hated that episode because it came out of absolutely nowhere. I did not enjoy that one whatsoever. Like, the whole show is very slice of life, it's very much like a romantic comedy type show, and then that episode just comes out of fucking nowhere. It's like an episode of Criminal Minds, and I'm like, I hated that episode. I will just say that I hated that episode. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Komi Kagame. It's a really fun show. I think my favorite thing about this show is by far the opening and Komi, the actual character of Komi. Her family is also quite likable, but I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's a fun show. I would certainly give it my recommendation, and the dub is pretty well done. I do like it. So there you have it. That is Komi Can't Communicate. Now those are the four that I would say are those are all those shows I talked about are good, and I do like them. But those I would say are the lesser of what I'm going for. The next four are shows I am genuinely loving. Like, I am genuinely on the edge of my seat watching these shows. I am in love with them. So let's jump into it. The first one up is going to be Hunter x Hunter. Yes, I'm finally watching Hunter x Hunter. This is a show I've heard about nonstop for so unbelievably long, way before I became an anime fan. People always talk about this show, talk about how amazing it is. I've constantly heard it's one of the best shonen anime of all time, and talking about the fact that it's shonen. Shonen is pretty much like all of the best animes of all time are shonens. The fact that people said that this was one of the best shonens. Yeah, I started getting really excited to watch this show, and I finally jumped into it, started watching it, and yes, this show is phenomenal. I love it. I'm currently on season 3, episode 6, I believe. We just got to the Phantom Troop kind of just coming in, the whole thing with that, and I love this show. It is absolutely amazing. It definitely has like, man, how do I talk about this show? It's so good. Like, the characters are very much what carry the show. I really like the whole main cast. By far, my favorite character is Kurapika. He is absolutely 100% my favorite character. I also really like Killua, and I also really like Hisoka as well. And yeah, the characters are really good, and you get a ton of development with the characters. And the formula of the show, like, the first season is all about like the hunter exam and them kind of becoming hunters, because being a hunter is a very prestigious thing in this universe of this show. And they have to do this insanely, ridiculously difficult and life-threatening exam to become a hunter. And the whole first season is them becoming a hunter, and then the second season is like a tournament arc, which was a really fun arc as well. And now I'm in the third season, which I just started, so I don't have a ton of thoughts on the third season. But so far, I can't say there's been a single episode of this show that I did not genuinely really fucking enjoy. I'd have to say my favorite arc of this show so far was the arc of in the first season when they're in the tower, like it's part of the hunter exam, when they're in that tower and they have to go down into the tower and they come across like the platform and they have to fight like the criminals on the other side who are trying to get like time off their prison sentence. That was by far my favorite arc of the show. I loved that arc. That might change once I watch the rest of it, because there's still 3 more seasons of this show for me to watch. But that was definitely my favorite arc I have experienced so far. I liked the tournament arc a lot, although the fact that Kurapika wasn't in that arc at all definitely hurt it a little bit for me, because Kurapika was my favorite character from the very beginning of this show. The second he showed up, he was my favorite character. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about Hunter x Hunter right now. This is is a show that I have to finish before I can really talk more about it, because I know that there's a lot more happens in the show. Like the fact that I haven't finished this show yet is definitely why I don't have that much more to talk about with it. The music, I'll talk about the music real quick, because I've talked about the music with all of these shows, because I personally value music very highly in an anime. I think a good soundtrack is a very important part of making a good anime, and the soundtrack for Hunter x Hunter, I don't really care for the openings all that much. None of the openings have been all that amazing, but the first ending, oh my god, that is a kick-ass ending. The first ending, the like Screamo ending, that one fucking rules, man. I love that one. Side note, I listened to the new opening of the new Attack on Titan season that's coming out. I listened to the opening, the Rumbling is what it's called. That is top 5 favorite anime openings ever, and I haven't even watched the show yet. I'm planning on watching that show eventually, but that opening, holy shit, that opening is god tier. Oh my god. Please, if you haven't listened to it, go up there and listen to the Rumbling, the new Attack on Titan opening, because it is god tier. I'm just gonna say that. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm very excited to continue it. Like I said, there hasn't been a single episode of this show that I haven't enjoyed. I'm really excited to continue this show. But there you go. That is all my thoughts on Hunter x Hunter so far. Hopefully I'll be talking about this again in the future once I've watched more of the show. Alrighty, next up is Odd Taxi. This show I heard about so much last year. A lot of people said this was one of the best animes of last year. One of my favorite anime YouTubers, Giguk, actually gave this a ton of recommendations. But I think it was number 4 on his best of 2021 list. This is a show I definitely was really wanted to know what it was all about. Although I will be honest, the animal thing put me off, and it probably will put you off as well, but I have to say, I don't think it should not detract from this show whatsoever. I don't really know what the point of them all being animals is, but hopefully that will be more clear by the end of it, because I've only seen 2 episodes of this show so far. Hopefully it'll be more clear by the end of it why they're animals, why that is important to the story as a whole. But right now we don't know anything about that, but don't be put off by that, because from the first 2 episodes I've seen of this show is amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. The tone of this show is so dark and so creepy and just really unnerving and very cool. And I really like it. And the characters are all very likable. They act so real. Like, this show is kind of like it kind of gives me like a dystopian vibe. Although it's they're just living in like a New York style city, but you're following the characters as they're going through like really rough times. But it's not like exaggerated rough times. It's just them living their lives, like very standard rough things that normal people go through on a day-to-day basis. And it's really well done, and the tone is amazing on the show, and you can definitely tell that it's going to go in a really dark direction. Like the ending of episode 2, I am literally on the edge of my seat. The next episode comes out tomorrow, which actually this video will be going up tomorrow, so the next episode will already out by the time you see this video. And I'm literally on the edge of my seat waiting for this next episode, man. I really want to know what happens because of the cliffhanger ending at the end of episode 2. I am so excited to see where this show goes, because I am loving it, and I heard nothing but amazing things about this show. It won, I think it took home 4 anime awards last year from the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. I think it took home 4 awards, so I cannot wait. This is definitely one of the shows I am the most excited to continue, because I just want to know what this show is about, man. The tone is amazing. The opening, oh my god, the opening of this show is amazing as well, dude. I could not gush about this opening more, dude. It is incredible. I don't think it's quite the Rumbling level. Like, that one is on a class of its own, dude. But it is amazing. The opening is absolutely incredible. The visuals of the opening is incredible. The song is incredible. The opening probably would also break my top 10 favorite openings, man. It is amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got about this show. I am loving this show. Also, the dub. ProZD is a voice in the dub. Yes, ProZD, you know him. Sungwon Chao, one of my favorite content creators of all time, is a voice in the dub, which is awesome. The second he showed up, I was like, holy shit, it's King Dragon! Very, very much wanted to say that, because, man, I think that should definitely raise your opinion of this show, the fact that ProZD is in it. But yeah, I'm loving this show, and I cannot wait to keep watching this show. This is by far one of the shows I am the most excited to see where it goes. So, yeah, Odd Taxi, that is that one. All right, we are at the top 2, and this second one is a doozy. Number 2 is My Hero Academia. Yes, the one and only My Hero Academia, the show that was literally the only thing people talked about for like 3 years straight in the anime community as a whole. People just never shut the fuck up about this show. And I'm here to tell you that I watched the first 9 episodes of this show, My Hero Academia. I watched them when this show was getting hype. And I cannot stress enough, those first 9 episodes, in my opinion, were the most miserably boring episodes of anime I have ever seen. I genuinely hated them. I hated the first 9 episodes of My Hero Academia, and I dropped it for 2 years straight. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years ago when I watched those first 9 episodes. And, yeah, I hated the first 9 episodes of this show. Now, looking back on it, I'm now on season 3 of the show. I've watched so I guess that means I've watched 30 extra episodes from the first 9 that I watched 2 years ago, and I'll get into why I picked this show back up in just a second here, because there are reasons for it. Yeah, I have to admit that looking back on it, the first 9 episodes, while they are miserably boring, they're very important, so you kind of do have to watch them in order to know what's going on. And I will say, I did not rewatch the first 9 episodes of this show. I jumped right back into where I left off when I dropped it 2 years ago. And I have to say, everything about the first 9 episodes was very memorable. I didn't forget anything about the first 9 episodes, which is very impressive to me because I genuinely hated them. I was literally like bored to tears during those first 9 episodes. So it surprised me a lot that I really remembered literally everything about those first 9 episodes. That's really surprising to me. So I will say that because it's very important. Everything they tell you in the first 9 episodes that sets up the whole thing with Deku Midoriya and all that, it's very important to the actual story. But I'll say this, like my least favorite part by far. So the whole first 9 episodes, he's getting the hang of his new power, right? The All Might power, the one for all. The scene when he goes into the practical exam, we finally start getting somewhere. The shit finally started to happen. They get into the practical exam, the entrance exam to get into UA high school. The scene when he punches the robot, when he flies in the air and he goes all superpowered, he punches the robot. This was my reaction to that. This was my reaction to that scene. The next 17 episodes are just gonna be him healing, aren't they? It's just gonna be him healing in a fucking hospital bed for 16 episodes. Son of a bitch! That was genuinely my reaction. I was like, okay, shit's finally happening. You cannot be serious. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on the first 9 episodes. Now let's talk about everything after the first 9 episodes, because everything after the first 9 episodes of this show have been pretty amazing. I can't deny. Now, I'm really loving this show. I'm really enjoying this show. It's definitely picked up substantially from the first 9 episodes, because the first 9 episodes were really just the setup. Once you get into the last 3 episodes of season 1, the villains attack on the USJ, and then you start getting into season 2, and now I'm in season 3. I have to admit, this show has climbed dramatically for me. Now, as for the reason why I watched this show, this was another deal. A friend of mine at work who loves this show made a deal with me where if I picked this show back up and at least watched up until season 2, he would watch my favorite anime of all time, Danganronpa. So I made this deal with him because I will literally watch pretty much anything for someone to watch Danganronpa because it is literally my life. Side note, I paid my mother $20 to watch Danganronpa and she loved it. I'm just gonna throw that out there. And my mom does not like anime at all. She did not like Demon Slayer. Just gonna throw that out there real quick. So yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick just to prove how incredible my favorite anime of all time is. But yeah, that was the deal. I pick up My Hero Academia again because he loves this show and he watches Danganronpa, and that was the deal. I was willing to do that. I actually was kind of interested in seeing if I would enjoy more of My Hero Academia if I got into it, because I've seen a lot of the characters. Like I saw the psychopath chick that everybody likes. I saw her fucking everywhere. What's her name? Toga, Himiko Toga. I'm actually getting to her right now. She like just got introduced in where I am right now. Like I think she got introduced like 2 episodes ago, I think. So yeah, she was a character I was pretty excited to see where she goes. And I really do like this show. I like a lot of the characters. I'm starting to really like Deku, which is very interesting to me because I hated him through the first 9 episodes, like genuinely hated him. I will say one character I do genuinely hate is Bakugo. I fucking hate Bakugo, and I really hope that he gets better because he is annoying as shit. Yeah, Bakugo is a fucking asshole. If you like Bakugo, oh my god, please tell me why, because I cannot find a single likable thing about that character. I fucking hate him. As for my favorite character of the show so far, and I have to say my favorite character is Shigaraki, Tomoru Shigaraki, the main villain of the show. I love that guy. His design is so awesome. I love his design. Those hands, like all the hands around him, and I love how he has like a mask that's also a hand that's just grabbing his face, and then he has another one in the back of his head with the freaking like the pipes coming off of it, and then they go into his back. I love that design, and I love this character. He is so creepy. I love how he's so against, like, he's such a fucking man child. Like, he just like throws like he's like throwing like a kind of like a tantrum every time he doesn't get his way. Like, they bring in Stain, who I didn't really care for all that much as a character, and they bring in Stain, and he starts getting all the attention, and Shigaraki's like, why does everybody like Stain? Stain is such an asshole. I fucking hate that guy. And then the scene when he finds Midoriya at the mall, and he just kind of like sits with him, and he's like, so here's the deal. I hate everything. I love Shigaraki, dude. I love him. He is my favorite character by far. So yeah, he's my favorite character. Other characters I really like. I actually really like Deku, which surprises me because I fucking hated him throughout the first 9 episodes of the show. I like Ochaka, or Uraraka, the gravity girl. I like her a lot. I like the frog girl a lot. I think she's pretty cool. Todoroki's cool. I'm starting to like him a little bit more. I did not like him at all throughout the first couple times he was like a big character, but I'm starting to grow. He's starting to grow on me a lot more. I loved the scene when he was like, I must be cursed. Every time I fight with someone, their hand gets broken. I'm like the hand crusher or something. That was the funniest scene he was in. He's a fun character. I like Todoroki. I would definitely say I like him more than I did originally, because before I didn't like him at all, and now I do like him. Other characters, man, there's so many characters in this show I like. Honestly, I like most of 1A. I like most of Class 1A. The only characters I don't like are Mineta, because he sucks. And, what's his name? The guy with the laser in the fucking belly laser. I hate that character. Fuck that character. Him and Bakugo are my least favorite characters by far. So yeah, all the 1A students I like. Pretty much all of them I like. Momo. I don't like the rock guy that much, which is kind of fun, because that character, I'm pretty sure that character is voiced by the same guy who voiced Leon in Danganronpa, and he looks exactly the same as Leon as well, so I pretty much just see that character as Leon, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know, he's not my favorite character. What other characters are there, memorable characters in 1A? I don't like Ida all that much either, the fast guy, he's kind of an important character. I don't really like him all that much. He's kind of boring in my opinion. I like the acid girl, she's kind of cool. I like Momo, she's pretty cool. I like the earphone jack chick. I like pretty much all of the characters in 1A with those few exceptions I talked about. I really like Aizawa as well. Aizawa's very cool. Eraserhead. I know he's a very popular character, and I definitely do like him. But yeah, those are the characters I like. But like I said, by far my favorite character, honestly not even a contest, is Shigaraki. I love that dude. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about with My Hero Academia. I could keep going because it's a super long show, but it's a lot of fun. The action's really fun. I don't really care for any of the music. None of the openings have really stuck out to me. None of the endings have really stuck out to me. So that is one blow to this show, I will say, is the soundtrack is just kind of take it or leave it. I don't know. None of the openings or endings have been bad, but none of them have been particularly great in my opinion. None of them have been particularly memorable in my opinion. So yeah, those are all my thoughts on My Hero Academia. I'm enjoying this show. I'm definitely going to finish it. I do really, really like it. I definitely like it way more than I did when I watched it originally, because I hated it when I watched it originally. But yeah, like I'm definitely liking it more. Like, it's number 2 on this list. So yes, I am really, really enjoying the show. I'm excited to continue it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you, so there you go. But by far the number 1, this isn't even a contest honestly, is My Dress Up Darling. This is the most popular anime by far right now. People will not shut up about this show. I think it's been number 1, like the number 1 most popular anime, and the characters have been number 1 for like, I think a month straight now. And it's so easy to see why. This show is amazing. If you're not watching My Dress Up Darling, this is one of the best romance animes I have ever fucking seen. It is like not quite Your Name level, but honestly, honestly, it's getting up there because the characters are so lovable. Marin Kitagawa is by far like the fucking waifu of the year already. Maybe even of the fucking decade. She is going to be a very difficult character to top because she is just so lovable. Her design is so amazing, and she is just such a wonderful character. Like, she's so, like, she's into, like, these kind of, like, eroge games and whatnot, and a lot of people, like, look down at her upon it. Look down at her because she likes those games, and she just kind of, like, shrugs them all off like, hey, fuck you if you don't like what I like. And I totally get that. Like, there's even a line in the show when she's like, every time I start talking about what I like, people go, oh, yeah, that's cool. Anyway, did you see this? And I'm just like, yes, that happens to me so much, too, because I'm a Danganronpa fan. I love Danganronpa. It's my favorite thing ever. And every time, like, almost every single time I try to talk about Danganronpa, that's exactly what people do. They go, yeah, that's cool, bro. Anyway, see that new episode of My Hero Academia? Yeah, that's pretty much like every conversation I ever have when I get to talk about Danganronpa, which is so sad because Danganronpa is so fucking great. Has there been a video ever since I started making Danganronpa content where I did not at least say Danganronpa like 4 times? That's how much I love it. So yeah, I really like Marin. Marin's by far my favorite character. There's no contest, but I really like fucking Wakana Gojo as well. Kind of funny how he has the same exact name as Satoru Gojo. Well, you know, Gojo and Gojo. So it's kind of funny that you got to get those two confused. And you know, Satoru Gojo is probably my favorite character I've seen all year. So there's that. Yeah, kind of fun they have the same name. Anyway, I like Wakana Gojo a lot. By the way, the main gist of this show is you have these 2 main characters. One of them is a Hina doll maker. Gojo is he makes these Hina dolls. And then you have Marin Kitagawa, who wants to be a cosplayer, and she's kind of into these like eroge games. And basically, she finds out that Gojo can sew, and they basically become friends, and he's making her an outfit. But you can clearly see these characters are slowly becoming way more than just friends, and it is done so well because these characters are so lovable. This show is amazing. Like, I really don't know what else to tell you, man. The way these characters act is just so lovable. This is the show that I've literally been most anxious for the last, like, week. Ever since I watched the first episode of this show, I have just been eagerly awaiting the next episode and the next episode. And I just finished watching the most recent episode that came out this week, and it might even be my favorite episode so far. That episode was so amazing. Brief spoiler warning, although I won't really give any major spoilers here. When Gojo stays up all night long to finish the outfit for Marin, and then she reveals that she wasn't planning on like wearing it on the most recent thing. She was going to give him as much time as he needed. That scene, that was probably my favorite scene of the entire show so far. Like, this show is on another level from every single one of these other shows for me. Honestly, it's not even close from any of these other shows. I adore this show. I could see the show going down as one of my favorite animes of all time if it keeps on this pace that it is on right now, because every episode has been so memorable, so enjoyable. The opening is amazing. I love the opening. This is definitely my favorite show I'm watching so far. There is no contest whatsoever. So there you have it, guys. That is everything I have been watching in February of 2022. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below of all these shows. What are your opinion on all these shows? What is your favorite of all these shows? Leave all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you love any of these shows as much as I do? You want to talk about them? Please feel free to. I would love to talk about it in the comment section down below. Let me know all your thoughts. And with that being said, hopefully I'll do more of these. If you guys like them, if you enjoy this video, I will absolutely do more of these as I watch more shows, because tons of shows I want to watch. Like, I want to watch Attack on Titan. I really want to watch Steins Gate, and that is going to be very soon. Pretty much after I finish up majority of these shows, I'm watching Steins Gate because I finally got access to watching the dub, and I cannot wait to watch that show because people just talk on and on about that show, and I want to watch that show so bad. So that is by far the show I want to watch the most. So I can expect that one probably soon. And yeah, definitely some other shows. I definitely want to watch Attack on Titan eventually, especially after listening to that new opening, because holy shit. And yeah, there you go. I think I've talked about enough. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. And this is the Guillotine signing out.